Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until, I don't know, probably about 5 o'clock. Y'all be keeping me late. Y'all be tricking me. Tricking me. I'm not gonna let y'all trick me today. But thank you all who are here for tuning in. Couple things I'll go through, but first, as always, I like to say hello to the people. And look, if this is your least favorite part of the show, you're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. Because it's my favorite part of the show. But if this is your least favorite part of the show, which some people have, contacted me and said, man, you spend too much time saying hello to people, then just check in. Probably give me about 10 minutes or so. Check in 10 minutes later, go away. Well, say hello, then go away, and then come back in 10, 15 minutes. That way, pretty sure I'll be done saying hello or close to it. But it's my favorite part of the show, so you're a weirdo if you don't like it. Robert Willis, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Robert. We got Tanika in the house. Tanika just says first, but she's representing beautiful Orlando, Florida. We still beefing. It's cool. Lewis Talbert, because it's not Lewis. I think Johnson is CK. It's Lewis Talbert, representing Sharonville. Good afternoon. Erica Hummins, representing Reading. Good afternoon. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rounding out the top 5, Anthony Prosser. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's the top 5 for today. DeAndre Crosby. Good afternoon. He says first. He's not first, but he said first. And who could be against that as a comment? Good afternoon. David Herring. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. He says good afternoon, little baby. E-Man, and to the afternoon experiment fam. That's you. He's representing Westchester. DeWanda Wise Hunter. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Albert Caldwell. Good afternoon. Which Albert is different than that other Caldwell. What was his name? Andrew Caldwell. Wasn't that his name? I'm not gay no more. I'm delivered. I will love a women's. That. What are you doing?
Trying to move it back.
Okay, fold it up from the bottom. Yeah. That. Yeah. And then you can carry it on through.
I forgot.
Mm-hmm. And then, where are you going with it?
Right here.
Oh my goodness. All right, then unfold it. All right. So not to be confused with Andrew Caldwell. Let's see. We got Regina Denson Griffin representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Andrea Bussell out there in Gulf Manor. Good afternoon, Andrea. Dwayne Larkin representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon. Pamela Kinney representing North Avondale. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for checking us out. Dante Johnson. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sea Breeze. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And Sea Breeze said, you said you got a cough. I saw somewhere where you said you got a cough or something. I hate to hear that you have a cough. The people who I was exposed to, who had been exposed to people who had been exposed to COVID, everybody tested negative. Just so y'all know. So there's a really good chance I don't have COVID. But of course, there's a kind of a chance that I do. You never know. Dina representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon, Dina. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Corey McDougal representing Green Township. Now, Green Township, because I always get, is it Green Hills? What's the area up there near Forest Park? Like, as you're coming out of Winton, Finneytown, going up Winton Road, and you pass through an area. That's Green Hills, right? That's not Green Township. I think that's Green Hills. That's where I got my first ticket. And some bad stuff happened to me at the hands of police. But you're Green Township, which I don't think is the same. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Yes, Green Hills. Thank you. Ben Tom, and I always remember that. I'm sorry, I'm about to move on. I always remember that because for whatever reason, I remember the song I was listening to when I got pulled over and when all of the bad stuff happened. I was listening to Groove Me by Guy. In a 1978, I believe it was, Buick LeSabre. Was my daddy's car. A 1978 Buick LeSabre. And I always remember, which this ain't funny, but, you know, thinking back in retrospect, as bad things were happening, I remember hearing Teddy say, it ain't over. It's just, I just like to be, it's not over. The party's not over. And that was what was going on when bad stuff was happening to me. And now, why can't it just be over? But anyway, I don't know why I remember that so vividly. Ben Thomas, representing Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Brenda Early in the house. Brenda Early, representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. David Herring. You already said hello, but he's talking to the little baby. She done walked away. Let's see. Shahara in the house. She's representing Sycamore Township / Sharonville. All right. Janice, my favorite. Everybody knows that. Representing Cincinnati, Ohio. Taria in the house. Hey, what's up, Taria? Like to see my friends, even though she promised we was gonna get together. But it's cold, I understand. Getting together in the cold is a thing. I'm not a cold weather person. This in the spring, let's all hook up. Let's see. Lamont Jones. Good afternoon. I don't know what Twist Talk is. Sounds like something you just made up. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about it. Carolyn Smith, good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Got Tria in the house, representing Avondale. Thank you for spending some time with us. Yo Underwood, representing Jesus Christ. Good afternoon. You can't beat that. Sunchild 7. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Ben says, salute to all my intelligent black men / fathers. Yes. Tanika, just trying to start stuff. It's a super warm 87 degrees here in Orlando. If I had something to throw, I would throw it against the wall. Break it into a million pieces. It wouldn't really do anything like effective, and I would be acting out of my effeminate side. But sometimes you just gotta do stuff for effect. I would shatter it against the wall. Steban, representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Valerie Davis, representing Dent. Good afternoon. I guess that was when the little baby came over here and sat down for no reason. Move my chair from where it is, which is a comfortable spot for me. Don't worry about why it's comfortable. It's a comfortable spot right there. She moves it around there, brings it all the way around, sits in it for, what was that, 30 seconds, then gets up and leaves. A few people, Dina, Tanika telling me it's Green Hills, Corey, Green Hills, all right. Scott, good afternoon, representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Green Township is on the west side. Okay. Jeannie Mulholland, good afternoon. Green Hills is next to Springfield Township. All right. A few other people saying Green Hills. Green Hills, thank y'all so much. Walter Bradley. When I lived in Fairfield, the cops used to post up in that town and pull people over. Okay. Nat Turner, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Maria Smith, representing North College Hill, good afternoon. Shahara says, I never forget my first ticket in Reading. I was so hurt to get a ticket. It really made me sad. I was doing so good with no tickets before. All right. Jerica, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Jason in the house, representing Ross. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ross, I'm familiar with Ross. I tell y'all there's a young lady that I knew at a job, and she said she grew up in Ross, and in all of her years of growing up, going to high school and everything, she never met a black person in person. She said she had never. Now, this was back in the 90s. This was back in the 90s. Around 1992, 93-ish. It might have been a little 95, 97, maybe. She had gone to school, graduated high school, and she got a job at the meatpacking plant that I was working at. And yeah, she said that, I don't remember if she said until she started working there, but it was well after high school before she ever in person met a black person. And I was thinking, it's the 90s, which sounds really old now in 2025, but, or at least it sounds old to young people. I say something to my daughter about the 90s, and she like, way back then? Stop it. But, like, it's the 90s, and you telling me in the 90s, you went through your entire young life into adulthood without ever face-to-face seeing a black person. Like, not at the grocery store, not at your whole life, you never met or saw a black person in person. And she's like, yes, never saw one. Saw them on TV, I heard about them. I'm like, you're talking about them, I'm them. Stop saying it like that. She was a nice girl. Like, she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm certain, I say I'm certain, but she never showed me any like racist tendencies or anything like that. She just had never met a black person. Another one of them cold chills. Oh, they keep hitting me. But that was Jason and Ross. Brian Grome Sr., good afternoon. Good afternoon. Crystal Hoskins, representing the Christ Hospital. Yes, groove me. Daryl Carpenter, representing the park. All right. Kush says, that's funny you mentioned Green Hills, King. I heard that Green Hills was an old sundown town, which explains much. Yeah. Chelsea says, hi, King and afternoon experimenters. All right. See, Tria is catching on. It's catching on. Chelsea. All right. And tell my cousin and everybody down there I said hello, and they should be supporting me more. Tell them I said that. It don't mean they're gonna do it. It's just something to say, you know, so you can have something to say, and then you witty, and you'll have some Emanuel-esque comeback for me, and then y'all can have like a whole argument. You represent me in the argument. I don't know what good that would do you, but in my mind, it feels good. Brian Grome Sr. says Springfield Township. All right. Let me see. I said hello. Should we expect a King and I live remote this spring? I don't know. I can't tell you. Let me see. I think I said hello to everybody so far. Pat Rogers, good afternoon. Pat Rogers, good afternoon. Ben says, I've never seen a black person in Ross. Timothy Allen, good afternoon. He says, Cap, I guess talking about the young lady who I can't remember her name. Y'all know me though. I'm not good with names. But, yeah, no, we had a whole conversation. She never met a black person. Never seen a black person in person. She had a sheltered life. That means she never left Ross. They weren't wealthy, So they probably, didn't go on vacations or anything like that. Did everything that they did in Ross. Nat says, the first time I got pulled over, I proceeded to get escorted to homicide to get interrogated because I fit the description. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Daryl says, Ross is Hicktown, USA. It might even be a sundown town. Well, I know they have black people there now. Because when I was helping coach football, we used to, our young kids used to play against Ross. We were in that league. I lived in Hamilton at that time. So we were in that league. And, yeah, we used to play against Ross. And they had black kids on the team. Mostly white kids, of course, but it was one or two. So, yeah. Andrew says, I've heard of black people who never met a black person until they went away to college. Right. And I just, in my mind, I can't imagine that's true. I don't have a memory of, I'm sure it was a white nurse, you know what I'm saying, at the hospital. I don't have a memory of not having had some interaction with a white person. It just sounds so weird to me. Sounds so weird to me. I mean, I wouldn't be necessarily against it if that was the way life is here. But, yeah, it sounds weird. Seabree says, I didn't have any meaningful interactions with white people until I was 8. Okay. Ed says, there's a lot of white people like that. I had never had such a discussion with someone. So when she said it, in all honesty, a part of me didn't believe it. Like, stop playing. You, at the very least, you had to see black people at the store. Because everywhere I go, I see black people. And some of them don't know they're black, so they vote for Trump. Like, and I see black people all over the place. So in my mind at that time, I couldn't conceive of someone having gone through 18 plus years of life and never put their eye on a black person. And I think that does kind of, it developed a part of who I am, because I understand that there are people who don't interact with or even see black people in person. So when I hear some of us from time to time say things and, be very stereotypical about stuff and, make a lot of generalizations, that's why I'm always, and I know some of y'all be like, you just arguing just for the sake of arguing. No, I don't be arguing just for the sake of arguing, because I'm thinking about, if you saying black people don't like each other, there might be some white person watching who ain't never seen a black person in person, and they hear what you say, and they're automatically gonna believe you, black people don't like other black people. And I'll be like, no. I don't want that to be the image that we putting out there about ourselves, because they'll capitalize on that. So that's why some of the stuff I say, especially when it comes to people making those horrible generalizations about black people, I be pushing back like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. It don't stop people from saying it. But I always, don't say that. Don't say that. Veronica Burdine representing College Hill. Good afternoon. Walter says, I lived in Fairfield and 2010 to 2014, I'm sure you meant from or whatever. From 2010 to 2014, I drove through Ross. The people had Confederate flags in the front yard. The brothers at my job told me not to go to that town no more. Okay. Jeannie says, I think there are many places in the country still where a white person can grow up and never come in contact with a black person unless they leave their town. Right. There are. And again, just at that time, in my mind, I didn't even understand how it was possible. Daryl says, have you been out in Ross, Ohio, E-Man? If you have, then you would know it's quite possible. And I'm saying at that time, I had never been out to Ross. Of course, I just told the story about coaching and, having to go to Ross. And they got some black people now. They got some black people now. Or at least they did in the when would that have been? That would have been, she would have probably been about 2002 to 2007. So from 2002 to about 2007, I went out to Ross a few times a year. Because, we had football, we had baseball, we had basketball. And my son played all three of those sports. And so, yeah, we would hit Ross 2 or 3 times a year. And there was, a black person or two. So, now whether or not they might have ran them black people out, I don't know. I'm not here, standing up for Ross. I was just sharing the story. Emanuel, Ross wants/needs you to speak to him. Okay. I don't have a problem speaking to him. None whatsoever. Daryl says, I used to live in Green Hills for 7 years before moving to the park. I got pulled over one time by Green Hill police, and it was Ray Tensing who pulled me over. And the way he was acting when he pulled over, he was acting the way he was acting when he pulled over Sam DeBose. He was fortunate that I had my stepdaughter in the car with me, and she was about 7 years old. I think she wasn't in the car with me. I probably would have ended up like Sam. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't. But anybody else remember the first time you got pulled over? And again, my first experience getting pulled over was not a good experience because I didn't just get a ticket. Some bad stuff happened. I made a decision that I don't talk about it anymore. But yeah, some bad stuff happened. And I, in all honesty, it did kind of taint the way that I see law enforcement. Because that was my first real interaction with law enforcement, in that capacity. Like I wasn't really in trouble growing up. So I didn't have a whole lot of interactions with law enforcement. So the first real interaction, just me by myself in the car. I had just got my license. And I was, I was just happy to be driving that big ass Buick LeSabre. And I called it the Tank. I was happy to be driving the Tank. And, to get pulled over. Of course, I was nervous. I was scared. I was yes, sir, no, sir. I don't do that stuff anymore. I'll do certain stuff, oh, you do this and then, you be respectful. And, if you just respectful and do what they ask you to do, nothing will happen. That's a lie. Well, it's not necessarily a lie, but I will say that doesn't stop things from happening if you're interacting with a law enforcement officer who done made up his or her mind something gonna happen. So I was yes sir and no sir, and here's my driver's license, and I was happy because it was nice and new. I wasn't speeding. He said I ran a light. I didn't run the light. But I think I might have, when I got under it, it got yellow. And so I was okay. He's saying I ran the light. I didn't think I ran the light, but I wasn't arguing with him. Just okay. Well, maybe I did argue with him a little bit. Maybe I did. In the sense that he said, you know why I pulled you over? You know, they always start with that. And me, I'm all innocent. Like, no, sir. I don't know why you pulled me over. No, sir. You ran that light. I don't think I ran that light, sir. I don't remember exactly word for word what was said, but, you know, I remember using my polite voice. You know, I didn't want to, you know, I was you know, my voice wasn't as deep and sexy as it is now. You know what I'm saying? I was still a little kid. And so I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting no bass in my voice. Because, you know what I'm saying? I remember my daddy telling me once or twice, you better take some of that bass out your voice. Oh, I don't want to do that to this nice officer. No, sir. I don't think I ran that light, you know. And next thing you know, I'm stepping out the car. Why am I stepping out the car? You know, in my mind, I'm going to get a ticket. Just give me a ticket. Well, I got a little more than a ticket. And yeah, that kind of informed me on how law enforcement can be. Had I been a little older and maybe a little wiser, you know, I would have reported that, at the very least, to my parents. But in all honesty, I was under the impression that if I would have told my parents what happened, I would have got in trouble. Because my parents were always or at least for me, I don't know about for my other brothers and sisters, because I don't believe that my parents raised us all the same. I think that mama and daddy was smart enough to know that we're all different. Then when I hear people say, I'm going off into another topic. When I hear people say, well, I raised all my kids the same, but this one turned out that way and this one turned out that way. Your problem was raising all your kids the same because they're all different people. And so you have to tailor how you're raising your kid to the kid. I was raising 3. One of them I could just look at and they would start crying. You know, if that look was disappointment, they would start crying. Another one, I could do all kind of stuff, give her a whooping. She wasn't going to cry. Like, she made a point. She wasn't going to cry even during a whooping. She was stubborn and, you know. So, you can't raise them all the same. I raised all my kids the same, and these ones turned out good, and that one turned out that way. You messed up, raising them all the same. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. My parents raised me in the way that if they got a call from the school, it wasn't a question like, you know, what are y'all doing to my son? It was, what did you do? If they told you to sit down, you should have sat down. If they told you to do this, you should have done that. I was always in trouble, even when I didn't do nothing wrong. But mama, I didn't do nothing. He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't lie and say you did something if you didn't. Like, yes, people lie. Sometimes people don't tell the truth. My mama wasn't buying that. Not for me. So I had that mentality in my head. Like, man, if I tell mama or daddy that I got beat down by the police, I say beat down, you know what I'm saying? You get jabbed with a nightstick in your rib. That stuff hurt, by the way. It hurts really bad. You get jabbed for no reason. You're like, what is going on? Why am I? And I should have known, you need to tell somebody what happened. That ain't right. That's not supposed to happen. You didn't do anything wrong. I guess you learned your lesson. Well, wait there. I'm going to give you write this ticket. What? Who says that? Who does that? Some law enforcement, because they can. And I should have told, but I didn't. Because, if it happened to me today, all hell would break loose. But, at that age, what was I, 16, maybe 17? I didn't know. And so, yeah, that did inform. So when I'm hearing about, police did this and the police escorted them, those Nazis to Lincoln Heights, and the police escorted them here, and the police said this and the police said that, I'm prone to believe that stuff. I'm prone to believe it. Like, I could see that happen. I could see it happening. Shirley Ellis Howe, good afternoon. I'm still saying hellos. Jenna says, was she colorblind? She was not colorblind. Mary Burge Lavender, howdy. She's sending much love. Howdy. Tim says she may have never talked to a black person. She's been to Kings Island, the zoo, Children's Hospital, etc. Communities right next to her. This ain't North Dakota. No, she probably had never been to. They were poor. But I know y'all thinking everybody been to Kings Island. No, everybody ain't been to Kings Island. Everybody take their kids to the hospital. She might have never been to the hospital. That woman, and I believed her, she had no reason to lie to me. That woman said she had never physically seen a black person. There are some poor people in Ross. Well, I don't know about now. Again, I ain't been to Ross in a long time, but I could imagine. There are some poor people in Ross who you talking about go to Kings Island. What? That's like cross-country travel for them. They're too poor. They never been to Kings Island. No, they ain't never been to the dentist. They ain't never been to the hospital. Granny whip up something right next to the cement pond and, got something to make sure that they're good. Scott says, do I know who you're talking about? You do, but I can't remember her name. She was a heavyset girl. She ended up having a baby. She had a baby with her brother. She ended up having a baby with I can't think of his name either. She dated Chris. You remember Chris, the supervisor? Now, I'm having a personal conversation with Scott. You remember the supervisor, Chris? She dated him for a while. She had blonde hair, but then she stopped dyeing it or whatever, and she let it grow out brown. And she ended up having a baby with that brother whose name I cannot think of. No, she didn't have a baby with her brother. She had a baby with a black dude that worked there. She was a heavy-set girl, but I don't remember her name. Scott, but yes, you know her. You do know her. You know who I'm talking about. She was from Ross. Lewis says, they are black people in Ross. There are now. Yes, Jarvis. She had a baby with Jarvis. That was his name. Walter said, you got black people in the inner city like New York, Chicago that have never left their block. That's true. Ben Thomas say Jarvis who? You wouldn't know Jarvis. Jarvis is a guy that Scott worked at the place that I was working at when I met the girl or met the young lady. So we know a number of the same people. And yes, there was a guy named Jarvis, and he ended up having a baby with her. So I don't know Jarvis's last. I couldn't even remember his name was Jarvis. So you're asking me Jarvis who? I don't know Jarvis's last name. I forgot. Today's the announcement day. What announcement? Timothy says, I played a basketball game in Ross in junior high. All right. Let me see. So it sounds like you were the fortunate one. don't know what that means, Jerica. I'm behind on comments. I'm trying to catch up. Mary wanted to know what happened. Share. I shared. You asked that probably before I shared. Tanika says, "Are you the youngest, E-Man?" I'm not the youngest. There's 6 of us, and I was next to the youngest. Jerica says, "Was the stubborn one Lil Baby's mom?" No, she was the one I could just look at and she would cry. I could just look at her and she would cry. If I gave her, the look, the "I'm disappointed in you" look, the "why are you acting up" look. Logic Slayer, good afternoon out there in Gulf Manor. Brent Beard, good afternoon, representing Dallas, Texas. Let me see. Okay, there was Scott asking, do I know? And he said yes. I said yes. Jarvis. Timothy says that was her first interaction with black people. Tanika says, "You dated her?" No, I didn't date her. No, I was in a terrible marriage at that point. I wasn't dating nobody. Twin says, "What's hood?" All right. And Twin says, "So you the little sheep of the family?" I don't know what that means. And Twin also says he's repping Finneytown Kroger. All right, so that's all of the hello. Terry Anderson, good afternoon. Terry Anderson, good afternoon. All right. Well, hope everybody's doing good. Danny Dozier, representing Westwood, good afternoon. So I don't know. I guess we got into a little bit. Cedric Robinson, good afternoon. I'm sorry I didn't see your good afternoon, but good afternoon. I also see Sean D. Nutter, representing the ATL. Good afternoon. All right, so yeah, we got into a little bit of a conversation about police and police brutality. And y'all know I get beat up from time to time. People beat me up for talking about police brutality. People beat me up for talking about police brutality. As if it don't exist, But I guess you're not supposed to talk about it. It don't happen no more, maybe. All police ain't bad. I get all of that kind of stuff. And then what I think happens when people do stuff like that is they make people not want to talk about it. Like, I know I didn't do anything wrong. So, that's why I used to talk about it. But people would always beat me up. I mean, even when I started doing this show, Marquetta specifically, and I like Marquetta, so I'm not taking a shot at Marquetta. Somebody gonna tag her. Emanuel was talking bad about you, but I'm not. But she used to really get on me like, "What you got against police? Why you always talking bad about police? Why you always talking about what police do? Police ain't our problem." And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. I think police are a big part of our problem. Policing is a big part of our problem. Now, I have come into some new feelings about it. I used to really just believe police don't like black people. Police profile black people. Police beat up black people. And that's all still true. Not all police, but that's all still true. But I've learned, and I would say through watching some of these First Amendment audits and seeing white auditors out there get, abused and mistreated by police, I think they reserve a certain level of vitriol for black people that they don't reserve for other people. But I really do believe that police, they don't know what they're supposed to do. They don't know They don't know the law. So how can you enforce something that you don't know? I mean, I equate it to if you walk into your mama's house, right? And your mama got a new boyfriend. You know your mom and daddy ain't married. And your mama got a new boyfriend. You and your mama got a clear understanding. You can come in and get anything out the refrigerator that you want. I don't care if I have some grape juice. Have you a cup of grape juice. It ain't no big deal. That's the law in your mama house. But her boyfriend is over, and you go to get some grape juice, and he mad now. You can't have that grape juice. That's your mama grape juice. Did you ask for some grape juice? And you like, bro, you trying to enforce something. You don't even know the rule. You don't understand that I'm allowed to do this. You going overboard about something that you got no business going overboard about. You need to relax. Go find out what I am and what I ain't allowed to do according to my mama in my mama house. That's kind of police. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this. The law says I can. And they don't know. So they just know it feel wrong. It seemed like it's wrong. So I should be enforcing some laws here. Hey, you can't just be walking down the street like that. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yeah. You can't be giving me the finger. That's disorderly conduct. No, it ain't. The law say I can give you the finger all day. It's not disorderly conduct. It's not. But they don't know. They don't know that that's the law. So I think a lot of times they should, they don't learn the law. They might learn some really I don't even think they learn like the super basic stuff. I really don't. Because a lot of the stuff that I see them trying to enforce, like everybody should know. That's why people say you should know your rights as a citizen. I see them trying to enforce stuff that everybody should know you got a right to do. I've seen police pull people over, pull them out their car, and arrest them for giving them the finger. Everybody should know you're allowed to give cops the finger. Am I promoting, hey, go out and give a cop the finger today? No, I'm not promoting that. But if you did, that's not against the law. But there are police out here on these streets who have no idea that that's not against the law. It might be one or two people watching who also don't know that that's not against the law. But it's not against the law to show a police officer your middle finger. And they're not really incentivized to learn the law because you're like, oh, I'm going to sue. And police will tell you, go ahead, sue. What you going to do? You going to sue me? Go ahead, sue me. Because they don't pay. They don't pay for those suits. They don't pay. When you win $50,000, it's not like that $50,000 came out of his account. The city, the taxpayers pay that. Now, I've said this a number of times. If they had to have insurance, and their insurance had to cover any settlements that their wrongdoing kind of made happen, they might act different. Like, oh, hold on. You illegally detained that guy for giving you the finger? Okay, he sued. They awarded him $10,000. Your insurance has to pay that $10,000. And then when his insurance premiums keep going up, and now he's uninsurable, he can't be a cop no more because you should have to have that insurance to be a cop. Then the taxpayer don't have to pay that. The insurance company has to pay that. Now the insurance company is telling law enforcement like, hey, We're not insuring these bad officers. Y'all need to do some better training. They need to know what the law is. I think that's a part of the solution to, police misconduct. I think those police over there in what is it, Evendale? I don't know exactly what happened in Evendale. I wasn't there. You see videos, but you hear this and you hear that. But those police officers over there, if there was, some sort of a lawsuit or something about them, allegedly, or, there's some investigation and the investigation turns up that some officer or officers did something bad. So I got a text up there. I had to read it. They want to make sure I'm completely satisfied. But yeah, if something like that happened and then they had to have insurance and that insurance had to cover whatever they had to pay. I mean, even, creates a the state can fine you, even if ain't nobody sues and there's no actual settlement with an injured party, but the state should still be able to say, like, look, now would the state do this? I doubt it. But the state should still be able to say, hey, look, there was some inappropriate actions that was taken over there. And I'm sorry, but we're going to be fining the Evendale Police Department however much money. The taxpayer shouldn't have to pay for that. Every police officer involved, their insurance should. Their insurance should have to pay for that. Make them responsible and they'll stop. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If you knew you could go do anything you wanted to do just about, and you wouldn't receive a punishment, everybody else would have to pay for your punishment. Like, oh, I can drive 120 miles an hour down the street, pull you over, give you a ticket. And you like, okay, I got a ticket. How much is the ticket? Tickets for $150. I don't know how much tickets are. I ain't had a ticket in, gotta be 20 years. Easy 20 years. So I don't know how much tickets are. But let's say the ticket is $150. And you look at that ticket and you like, damn, I got a $150 ticket. What if you knew you didn't have to pay for it? The taxpayers would have to pay your ticket. Oh, the city gonna pay my ticket. What would be your incentive to not speed? The points on your license, you ain't gonna get no points on your license. They gonna put a little something in your file. Say, he was speeding one day. But it don't equate to actual points on your license. Because when you complain about police, don't nothing happen to them. They don't care. Oh, he was suspended 2 days without pay. They gonna get some overtime. They gonna make sure he gets some overtime and make up for them 2 days without pay. Or he gonna do his 2 days without pay and he gonna use some vacation time to make up for that money. And then later on, he gonna do some overtime. They don't care about that stuff. They don't care about that stuff. I'm gonna get your file and see how many complaints been filed on you. They don't care. When they get in trouble, it's, as they say, with a wink and a nod. You know that it was inappropriate for you to jab that guy with your nightstick, don't you? Don't do that again. Everybody else is telling them, like, you ever seen a basketball game where they get into a fight and somebody was clearly wrong. Somebody was clearly wrong. He was going up for the dunk and you elbow. Who was that? I'm thinking way back in the day. It was the Lakers and the Spurs. and somebody was going up for the dunk, and the center for the Lakers threw a forearm into his ribs. Could have really hurt him. I don't remember who it was. But what happens when they go back to the bench? He got ejected from the game. Flagrant 2. He's ejected. He's out of here. What do the other players on the team do? Dap him up, give him 5, pat him on the back, pat him on the head, pat him on the ass. Man, good job, man, good job. F him. Good job, good job. That's what happens. That's what the police do. Like, oh, he got in trouble. Oh, he got suspended. It wasn't Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem. It was during the Kobe and Shaq. It wasn't Artest. It wasn't Artest. Was it Artest? No, it wasn't Artest. It was because Artest ain't a center. The dude was a center. He was a young guy. Lakers, young guy. And I can't remember his name. I don't know. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. But I remember it was a closeout game, and they were about to lose. And he hit old boy with the with the forearm. But the other guys on the team, as he was walking off, and you'll see this all the time, they pat each other on the back. They dap each other. Andrew Bynum. Thank you, Nat Turner. Andrew Bynum. They pat each other on the back. They dap each other up on their way out up the tunnel. Sometimes they even be like, hey, we'll pay your fine. Don't worry about it. We got you. We're going to pay your fine. You the enforcer. That's what happens when police get in trouble. No more jabbing people in the ribs with your nightstick. And on the way out, hey, man, good job. Good job. Man, you did what you had to do, man. Good job. Good job. So if that was the way that you know what I'm saying, when you got a ticket, the citizens had to pay it, you didn't get no points, and people was telling you, man, way to drive. That's some driving right there. That's some driving. What is to stop you from speeding next time? Nothing. Nothing. So, yeah, that's why I be, a little harsh on law enforcement. And I don't really apologize for it. I've kind of pulled back a little bit because, again, I'm a guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy. I'm just a normal dude, Nobody like to be beat up like I get beat up all the time. And I have to be in the mood for the fight. And, sometimes you have to wait. Like, you have to say stuff, and people have to process it, and that be that. And y'all frustrate me sometimes because y'all let people beat me up, and nobody say, hey, leave him alone. He telling the truth. So, not that I need y'all to do that, but it would be nice if you telling the truth for the people. It would be nice sometime for somebody to be like, hey, he ain't lying. Why you against him like that? What else is going on? What is Trump doing? I saw something about Trump. I literally just a couple minutes ago read where Trump and him is doing something. Oh, the Associated Press. Y'all hear how the Trump administration, the White House, they are, I don't want to say barring the Associated Press from the White House, but, they're not giving them the access that they've had. And you know why? You know why they're not doing it? Because they are still referring to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of Mexico. That's crazy, ain't it? That's crazy. Yeah. Because the Associated Press calls the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico, they don't get to be in on some of the pressers. So no, you're not invited. It's not a right to come in here and ask the president questions. It's not a right, it's a privilege. And the president has renamed it the Gulf of America. And so if you're not going to call it the Gulf of America, then you're not going to be allowed to come in here. Yeah. And I guarantee that there are Trump supporters, black Trump supporters. Look, I do. I make a difference between the white Trump supporters and the black Trump supporters. Again, because I kind of expect it out of the white Trump supporters, but it hurts my heart when it happens and it's the black Trump supporters. Because in my mind, y'all should know better. Like, it's not y'all should know better. Y'all should be the ones like, look, man, this makes sense to me. I voted for Trump. Maybe, I thought some of his policies or whatever was good. I thought maybe he'd be good for the economy or whatever. But, man, some of the stuff he doing, I just can't get with. That makes sense to me. He's telling the press that they can't come in if they don't refer to a body of water by the name that he wants them to refer to it as. Come on. And it shouldn't take you that long to come around. Like, it really shouldn't. When Elon Musk did the Nazi salute, right out the gate, all the black Trump supporters should have been like, that was a Nazi salute, and that was inappropriate. Y'all heard me. I had to have arguments with Trump supporters about whether or not that was a Nazi salute. And then 3 to 5 days later, then they come out and say, oh, well, I thought about it and it was a Nazi salute. But what difference do it make? Like, why are we arguing about the simple stuff? We shouldn't have to be arguing about the simple stuff. Some of this stuff you should just look at and you should be like, that's inappropriate. That's wrong. That is a danger to our democracy. I know, I'm overselling it, ain't I? I'm overselling it. How is it a danger to our democracy that the president won't let the Associated Press and why, Hank, why you bullying me, Hank? Hank is trying to shame and bully me. And I appreciate it. I really do, Hank. I really do appreciate it. And it's gonna happen soon. I had a setback, but it's gonna happen soon. I just didn't want to keep telling you it's gonna happen, and it not happen. And so I just was like, I was like a little ashamed to be like I had a setback. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But yeah, he is shaming and bullying me for my good. And I appreciate it. Jerica says, who is Hank? Hank was my personal trainer when I had a trainer. And I reached out to Hank probably June or so, maybe later, of last year. And I expressed my interest in going back to Hank and getting back in the gym and getting in good shape. And he was very encouraging, but I didn't make it back. And then I told him he was sweating me. And I told him, don't stop sweating me, because I need you to keep sweating me, because I want to come back. And I had intended on going back. There was actually a day that I had intended on going back. And I had given my word that I would be there. But something came up. And I couldn't keep my word. And I'm not going to lie, I was ashamed. I was ashamed because it sounds crazy and old school. It sounds crazy and old school. But I believe in keeping my word. And if something happens and I can't keep my word, I feel a sense of shame. I'm not one of these people who don't believe that shame should be existent anymore. We shouldn't shame people. Please, we should shame people. We should shame people. And so I did. I asked him, please don't stop. I promise you I'm going to be back. But on the day that I was going to go back, like I said, something came up that was out of my control, and and I couldn't make it back. But I told him, please don't stop, because I will make it back. And I see every once in a while, he just puts up the word gym. And it's a reminder. But I'm almost in a position where I can make it back. I'm almost in a position where I can make it back. So don't stop. Please don't stop. But there is a sense of shame just because I didn't keep my word. And you know, that's nothing that anybody imposed on me. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. What was I saying before he started shaming me and bullying me? I was saying something. I don't even remember what I was saying. Raven, I saw your message. I was at work when your message came through, and I will call you after the show because I got a few things that we need to work through. But I'll call you after the show. I will call you. Black Republicans. So yeah, I have to. I had to have arguments with them about whether or not they actually saw what it was that they saw. And it's so heartbreaking and disappointing. And I look, I get it. You don't want to be shamed. I get it. But I mean, sometimes you can say, I thought that was the right move, but it turns out it might not have been the right move. Or even I still think it was the right move, but I don't agree with that. Like, I try to use me as the example. I supported Joe Biden. I voted for Joe Biden. I don't agree with all of that LGBT stuff. I don't agree with that stuff. But I'm, confident enough to say, yeah, I voted for him. I like some stuff that he's doing, but I don't like all of that. Now I have to accept that a man is a woman if the man say that he feel like inside he a woman, but he's really still a man. I don't like all of that. See how you can do that? You just straight watch the dude do a Nazi salute and then argue with people that the Nazi salute wasn't a Nazi salute. Ed says it's the same thing the Evendale police are saying. They're saying, you people didn't see us helping the Nazis. Or those Nazis, he says. But I expect it out of white Trump supporters. Now, I'm not saying every white Trump supporters, because some of those white Trump supporters are coming out and saying, hey, that's wrong. Hey, I don't support that. Hey, he used us. Hey, whatever. I don't believe you can really say he used us, because I think it was way too much information out there. Well, when he said he didn't know nothing about Project 2025, you had the Project 2025 guy on camera saying, yeah, we talked about that. He's going to deny knowing anything about it, but we talked about it. It's all good. He's going to enact everything in Project 2025. Don't worry about him saying he don't know nothing about it. And then you still had the black Trump supporters talking about he didn't know nothing about Project 2025. He said he don't know nothing, but we all knew that he knew. So you either had to, be stupid, or you were just being willfully ignorant. Which is kind of another one of them things police do. They do that. Police do stuff like, they see a police officer doing something wrong. They see it, but then they turn their back. And I guess so if anything come to go to court, they can say, I didn't see anything. I told you I know a law enforcement officer. and they told me this in confidence, and I am a man of my word, and so I can't share who the officer was because I was told this off the record. But when Roger Owensby Jr. was killed, they were allegedly, because I didn't verify this story. I just took the person's word because they weren't painting themselves in a good light. And normally people will be telling you the truth when they're not painting themselves in a good light, even by their standard. Sometimes. And they were saying, yeah, and I was supposed to be, I guess, driving him to the station, and he was kind of confessing about stuff. And I said, don't say nothing else to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be called in to testify about nothing. Don't say nothing else. Stop talking. That's willful ignorance. That's willful ignorance. Plus, they know that the camera's on in the car and they don't want them to expose themselves to the camera because police protect police. You ever seen some body camera footage and you hear the police do their little huddle up and they be like, because all the body cams off, everybody's body cam off, and then somebody will start talking and they be like, camera. They let them know, don't say nothing. Shh. You on camera. And I think that's what the Trump supporters were doing in the lead up to the election. Project 2025, oh no, he don't know that. He said he don't know nothing about Project 2025, but you got all the information right there in front of you. You were just being willfully ignorant. Do I believe that the Latinos and Latinas, do I believe that they didn't know what was going to happen? I believe they knew. They just didn't think it would be them. For whatever reason, there are people don't believe it's going to be them. This dude is saying like, hey, we're going to deport all y'all. We're going to deport so many Latinos, it's going to make your head spin. You hear that, and something in the back of your head say, he's not talking about me, though. He's talking about the other Latinos. He's not talking about me. He gonna deport them. He ain't gonna deport my wife. He gonna deport them. He not gonna deport my mama. And then next thing you know, you ain't seen your mama in 6 days. It was an ICE raid. You heard it was an ICE raid. And you ain't seen your mama in 6 days. And you on social media crying. I didn't know. You really didn't know? You really didn't know. Yeah, those same black Trumpsters and black independents were ready down the hill saying Project 2025 was a scare tactic. Yeah, they were. They were. Go back and look at some of the, because I watch a lot of these guys. I can only watch so much. Like the one family, I can't think of their name. The young ignorant black boys who just be saying wild stuff. It's like either 3 or 4 of them. They just be saying wild stuff. But they not Republicans. They're independents. Like, stop it. But go back and look at some of their old stuff. Some of that stuff is not going to age well. It already ain't. It's scare tactics. They just trying to scare you. They just trying to scare you. Yes, the Cartier family. That's who I'm talking about. They just trying to scare you. They just trying to scare you. Come on, they knew. They knew. But you, and it, is it wrong that I expect that from the white Trump supporters, but I really am hurt and disappointed when I hear it from the black Trump supporters? And I really do wonder, because, you know, I hear people talking about buyer's remorse. I really do wonder if those people, how bad is it gonna have to get before those people finally start saying, okay, we was wrong. We might have made a bad decision. Hold on. Somebody was asking. Wait a minute. I don't know what that meant exactly. Jericho said, I don't think they'll ever admit to it. At some point, they're gonna have to. At some point, they're gonna have to. When they had to go visit their loved ones who were in prison, but they've been deported to El Salvador, they gonna have to be like, okay, I was wrong for voting for this dude. He deported my loved one. He deported my loved one who was an American citizen but convicted of a violent crime. He deported him to El Salvador. That's wrong. No, they're going to blame their loved ones for getting themselves locked up. You might be right. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. Yeah, but no more trannies in the bathroom, though. Yeah. You're not going to have a working constitution or government. You're going to have a dictator and oligarchs running the country. They're not going to pay no attention to the... Can you believe that these people are running around basically now saying judges don't have any authority? Judges don't have any authority now. Wait a minute, it's certain judges, district judges, basically they saying, excuse my language, but I think it's necessary, district judges don't mean shit. District judges don't mean shit. Supreme Court is really all that matter. Well, the district judge said you can't do that. Psst, that don't mean shit. You know how many district judges it is? That don't mean shit. So hear what they're doing. Like, for real, just big picture. Pay attention to what they're doing. They're saying, and y'all, I'm not making this up. Y'all know I'm not making this up. This is what the executive branch is saying. Okay, the legislative branch said, do this, but we're not going to do it. They said spend this money this way, but we're not doing that. And then the judicial branch said, no, you got to do what the legislative branch said. But they don't mean nothing, so we're not going to do that either. And then the press ain't doing and saying what we want them to say, so we're going to cut their access. Who do that leave? Who does that leave? I mean, really, just for a minute. And they're making it as plain as they can. Like they not even, they playing chess and we playing checkers. No, they not playing chess. This stuff ain't slick. It ain't smooth. They ain't sliding in under the radar. They just blatantly saying it. Look, we're going to have rich people come in here and decide what to do. We're going to ignore what the legislative branch say. We're going to ignore what the judicial branch say. And we're going to shut out the press. We're going to do whatever we want to do. What is that? What is that? They not slick with it. They not trying to be slick with it. They just straight up saying, we gonna do what we wanna do. And you either get on board or get on the train or get ran over by it or whatever the terminology is. I'm sorry, I'm not with all that stuff. But that's basically what they saying. What we, the executive branch, says is the new law. I mean, for real, even the Constitution. Why do judges have to say you can't end birthright citizenship because it's in the Constitution? And they're saying, these district judges don't know nothing. We're going to take it to the Supreme Court. So they're saying, we don't care what the legislative branch says. We don't care what the judicial branch says. We are cutting off access to the press, and we are ignoring the Constitution. What is that? What is that? What do you have left? And again, they're not being secret. They're saying what how do you say that? You saying the quiet part out loud? They are saying the quiet part out loud. They're screaming the quiet part. And you still got some people, oh, y'all just want to just talk about Trump. Well, he don't control my life. Why y'all worried about what Trump doing every day? How are you not worried about it every day? Langston.
Hey, my man, E-Man. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, sir.
Good.
You are just preaching fire, man. It's really scary how a lot of people really don't see how bad this really could be. And it's funny. I think they saw how ridiculous that 2017 presidency went, where they were looking like this guy is an idiot, and they're still cheering him on. He's saying stuff that don't make sense, and they're still going with it. And then you have someone says, you know what? If we come in and we do A, B, and C, we can run the game on him. And that's exactly what they did. He's not worth much. We'll pay him a few million, and he's in the bag. And if it wasn't so prevalent to see it, it was so easy to see it when he gave that press conference. Elon is standing over top of him, emasculating him, having his son emasculate him, and he's sitting there. I've never seen Trump so quiet in my life. And this guy is saying, we're going to close these governments right here that are investigating me. We're going to take over this SSI. We're going to take all this money. Because the beautiful thing is about this country, I guess, in a sense, this $4 trillion tax bump they want to give the top 1%. You have to be able to justify it by offsetting it. You can't have $4 trillion come out and not be able to offset it. So he says, great, we can do that. We'll close education. We'll take over SSI. We'll close Medicaid. We're going to do all this and offset it. And they're trying to steamroll this stuff before the courts even get out the bed and brush their teeth. And that's what they're trying to do, to slow this down so we can, because at the end of the day, when this is all said and done and the smoke clears and we've been ripped off, somebody still got to go to jail, because this is probably the biggest robbery of them all.
If, Langston, we have enough of a government left for somebody to go to jail. And one of the crazy things about this is, how long has he been in office? Like, 3-4 weeks? Like, they not even slow walking it. I remember, when Obama was in office, and Obama was trying to pass the Affordable Care Act, and he's doing stuff the right way, and people are like, well, you can't just out the gate just say we gonna do this and we gonna do that. You gotta walk it. It took what? How long did it take to get the Affordable Care Act through?
God.
Years.
Almost 3 years.
This dude in
Yeah,
4 weeks is just saying, look, forget processes. We just doing it. We just doing it. We gonna do it right in your face. We gonna do it quickly. We ain't gonna be slick about it. We gonna tell you what we doing, and then we gonna do it. And basically ain't nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely, and they ripped the guts out of the whole Affordable Care Act, so left it really as a shell at the end of the day. But yes, and the thing was, and again, as he said something, Elon's not a bright man. We've all seen that, but he's got these crazy smart people behind him that says, hey, you know what you can do? You can put this Doge crap in there, and we can go right around the Congress.
Right.
We don't got to ask them nothing. We can go right past them. Now, because at this point, like, who's going to check us? As they say, he's self-checking. Who the heck has ever self-checked themselves and not gave themselves a clearance? Oh, yeah, I probably should not do this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the thing is it's really demoralizing, it should be, to the whole Republican Party, that they can sit back and kind of watch it happen and not say a thing as they watch this government is slowly it's not even slowly anymore,
right,
dismantled into, as you're saying, what will we have? Will it be just an all? I mean, because he even pretty much said that when he was in the Oval Office talking over this man, saying, why you want somebody, get rid of all these bureaucrats, and I'll just tell you what's good for you. And that's what he's kind of trying to do while he stuffs his pocket full of money.
Yep.
Crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, man, you're preaching fire there, and the only hope I can see is that, like I said, when all the smoke clears, that all these people that have been duped, that emptied their pockets for their Trump flags and their Trump red trucker hats, that when they're sitting there and contemplating, unliving themselves because they're about to lose their farm, that maybe that black woman didn't look too bad for them, and maybe you shouldn't judge the content of someone's color as the way that's the right way to go. So, hey, keep going with it, and we'll talk to you soon, my brother.
Thank you, Langston. I appreciate your call.
Yes, sir. No worries.
But yeah, man, this whole thing is crazy. And y'all, it's happening quickly right in front of our faces. Quickly right in front of our faces. And all I can keep thinking is, we told y'all. We told y'all. And y'all still pretending like it's not happening right in front of your face. Come on, like Langston said, Elon about to stuff his pockets full of money. I saw something, I don't know how true it was, because I didn't really get into reading the article, but how they're about to buy all of these ungodly number of cyber trucks for the government. I don't know if it's true or if it's not true, because I didn't get opportunity to go through and read the article and, do no kind of cross-referencing or anything like that. But come on, who would be surprised? Who would be surprised? I wouldn't be surprised if they spent $10 billion in American taxpayer funds for cyber trucks from Elon Musk's company. And it's not like Elon Musk don't already get a sizable amount of money from the U.S. government. He got contracts after contracts after contracts. Guess who about to get more contracts? Guess who about to get more contracts? The dude that's in charge of government waste is somehow the dude that can go and access, or this is their desire, that can go and access everything coming out of the Treasury, is somehow about to reroute money coming out of the Treasury into his pocket. Shannon say about to. Musk became $43 billion richer since Trump got elected. Brent,
Hey, what's going on, E-Man?
how you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. With the Associated Press, with them having their credentials rescinded or restricted or whatever it is, if these other news organizations, from the so-called liberal ones to the right-wing Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, all of them should stand in solidarity
Mm-hmm.
and say, hell no, we ain't coming to any of your press releases. We're not covering you at all until you restore the Associated Press. That's wild. The Associated Press, for the most part, calls it right down the middle, and a lot of these other news agencies use the Associated Press as a source for their stories.
Yes.
So, even from the newspapers to the Washington Post, which is owned, is Jeff Bezos owns that,
I think so.
or yeah, and that is just totally insane. And on the police front and everything, yeah, like I said, I never trust a trained liar. And those jokers will lie, and they don't, in a lot of cases, know the law, but they operate on the law of Cartman. Respect my authority. Even if it's right or wrong, they want respect, which they don't. In a lot of cases, don't deserve it because they haven't shown themselves to be respectable with the actions that they do or the actions that they see their fellow officers do. So, even with the Training Day movie, with the scene where he wound up having the rookie the rookie detective smoke angel dust to have some dirt on him,
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling that is replicated in some form or fashion all over the place, and especially if you have a white senior officer and a black officer, because they want to make sure that you are willing to play ball. And if they tune up a black person, you better not say nothing. You better not do nothing, or we got this dirt on you that we gonna get you out of the box, because the union ain't gonna back them, which is wild, because they truly think that they are more blue than they are black. And it was the case up there in Minnesota, the Somali police officer, where he shot and killed the white blonde Australian woman.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear nothing from the union. You didn't hear the police union. You didn't hear nothing from them, doing GoFundMe's for the guy and everything. And he wound up, did he get 10 years?
Yeah, and it's very rare that you see something like that. But yeah, he got some time. I don't remember exactly what he got, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, even here down in Dallas with Amber Geiger and Botham Jean, the police union was all behind her to the end, and still to this day trying to get her out. And I just hope whenever she goes in front of a board, again, parole board, because she got denied last time, but when she goes next time, I just hope the parole board didn't see Botham Jean's brother wanting to hug Amber Geiger. Because that joker, he just pissed.
Yeah, I'm still mad at him.
Me off.
I'm still mad at him.
Yeah, and I think he was my namesake. I think his name was Brent too, so that's even worse. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That sounds like some Brent shit to do. So.
No. But hey, I need you to, ever since I started taking this B12, my memory hasn't been so well. So I need you to help me out with some memories or some background on Lawrence, Billy Badass.
All right.
So we know he's from Flint, Michigan, right? And he's a Flintstone, and you can't piss on his head and call it rain. Him and his wife were in the UAW, but they tried to screw over his wife, so he wanted to tear down all unions. Am I right so far?
Did he? Did he want to tear down unions? I know.
Yeah, he was going after unions. Yeah.
Okay, I know him and his wife was a big deal in the union and everything, and they did something to his wife, but I don't remember the part about him going after the union.
Yeah, and if you get pulled over on the side of the road, you tell a cop that, hey, stand down,
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, and we know about the washcloth.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the gun on the washcloth. You never know.
He showered with his
somebody
gun.
with a particular set of skills may be trying to assassinate you. You just never know.
He trains the police.
He trains the Grand Prairie Police, which I did confirm. Well, I talked to one police officer who had been on the force for 20 years, and he had never heard of Billy Badass. So, but he had a security company when he was in Georgia. Well, no, he didn't have a security company because the way he made it sound like he worked for a security
he worked as a security guard.
Yeah. Yep. And, oh, goodness, when he worked for that security company, because that was in Atlanta, then he moved. He was trying to make it seem like he was former military, but at most he was a military spouse. I don't know what Mrs. Collins did. Now his wife Sheila, when she called into the Lincoln Show, which I know you don't listen to that much, but she now, and this is where I need you to help me out a little bit, because I thought it was his daughter that had the natural hair down to her butt and not his wife.
I thought it was, yeah. Because his wife just had a gap between her legs. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, but the daughter had hair down her back to her butt.
Yeah, and his daughter was making six figures working at the GM plant.
Right.
Which apparently, based off of his wife's social media, she still works at the GM plant there in Arlington. It's right over there by Jerry's World. And she actually ran for some union position, but lost, according to the Google.
Okay.
So she's still in the union, still driving the forklift. Hey, do what you got to do, but just Lawrence's whole steez.
And as somebody did point up, which was a very important part, he did buy a pickup truck from a known admitted racist over buying it from a black dealership, a black-owned dealership.
Yep, and he was talking about the pricing and everything that they get, and what he sounded like he was trying to do, because if you work for any of the automakers, for the most part, you do get dealer cost, which is less than dealer invoice and everything. So if you're getting the vehicle what the dealer paid for it, and then you want bed liner and all of these other frills for free, they're gonna tell you to kick rocks. Most dealerships. So they're not going to try to give you all that stuff.
Yeah, I think he said he saved $2,000.
Yeah, it went from $2,000 to more than that. He made stuff up on the fly, so he can't keep track of what he did. But his daughter, she had a six-figure job working at the GM plant, but she left that job to become an elementary school teacher.
Okay, I don't remember that part. That must have been after I got fired.
I think that was with you, because he's the only one let him go on these long soliloquies. Shout out to CK. But but I recall him saying he had to drive his daughter to school because someone at school was trying to disrespect his daughter. Lawrence, he stays locked and loaded with a pistol, an AK-47, a grenade launcher in the car. That's how he rolled.
I don't remember that part.
Okay, yeah, that part I do remember. So, maybe the B-12, actually is working. But his son, little Daryl, or I don't even know his son's name, but his son was supposed to be in the military, and I think this was on Joe Madison, where I caught this bit, where he tried to get over on Joe, and Joe ain't. Joe argued with people who agrees with him. So if he doesn't agree with them, he's gonna argue with them even more, because they were talking about the military front there. But I was just trying to reconnect all the dots, because with them calling in, it just brought up a lot of crazy calls and the patience that you had, having the patience of Joe and Hosea.
Okay.
For putting up with them. But lastly, Valentine's Day. You got everything squared away for Mrs. Livingston?
I don't. We don't normally do Valentine's Day. I might get her something for Valentine's Day this year. But we don't normally do Valentine's Day. We, we show love all year round.
Right.
I mean, I'll bring her flowers, just out of nowhere, cause, I love her. So,
Yeah.
even though that really, I don't do it that often because
Right.
they just sit there and die. But, I mean, every once in a while, it's a nice little gesture. But I don't know that we have anything planned,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I don't have anything planned for her. But we don't really do the whole Valentine's Day thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I asked my wife this morning. I was like, because we've been married 28 years. 28 years. Been together 29 years. But I asked her, I'm like, do you want flowers tomorrow? And she gave me this look. It was pretty much like, looked like, duh. I don't want flowers. So I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was getting you something that you wanted. So yes, I was like, hey, because she was like, why are you even asking me that? And I'm like, hey, I just want to make sure, because if you don't want flowers, they be jacking up the prices. And
Hold on, wait,
definitely
I'm
not ordering.
confused. Was the duh look like, I don't want no flowers, or was the duh look like, you better get some flowers?
The latter.
Okay.
You better get some flowers. So yeah. So we'll see what they have, and because I normally do my own arrangement, because I ain't paying $80 to $100 on something that's already dead when you cut it. And roses, they last the shortest out of all the flowers that you can get. So.
All right.
Yeah. But that's all I got. If all hearts and minds are clear. Oh yeah, don't forget to have Jerica, recap all the calls.
All right, Brent, enjoy your Valentine's Day.
All right, you take it easy.
All right. Jerica want to know, do men want gifts on Valentine? I don't know about nobody else, but I don't care. Like, again, if you want to get me something, get me something. If you don't, then don't. Valentine's Day ain't really nothing special to me. It's somebody made it up. Like, somebody was like, hey, but notwithstanding Pharaoh's story, somebody was like, hey, we could really get some money off of people if we tell them that today is the day that they had to give gifts to their loved one. Like, you right. It's a whole lot of money to be made out of that. But if I was a Valentine's Day person, then sure. Ain't this reciprocal? You gonna get me something, I'm gonna get you something, and then, we gonna do it. Like, ain't that should be kind of the gist of it. But because I'm not, no. But if I was, yes. Fame says no man wants a gift on Valentine's Day. You women just need to shave your knee pads available. What? Oh, okay. Samuel says, ladies, giving loving is not a gift. Right. It's not a gift. It's not a gift. Just so y'all know, oh, he gonna get something tonight. You're not giving him no gift. Give him a gift. It's the same way, if he do, well, what you get me for Valentine's Day? You get this dick. What? That ain't no gift. What? No. So, yeah, no. Gifts are gifts. Gifts are gifts. LaDonna says, you knew what that meant. I really didn't. Maybe it was just written wrong, or I read it wrong, but I didn't know exactly what he mean. Oh, okay, I read it wrong. Okay, now when I went back and I'm rereading it, now I know what he meant. Okay. LaDonna talk about mine is a gift. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's very rare that you can. That's not a gift. I don't know you, LaDonna. I like you. I respect you. But don't give me no used 65-year-old gift. But this is for you. No. No. Jason says giving a man a box of chocolates is weird. Yeah, maybe depending on the man, he might like chocolate. But then just give him something different. What do he like? See, that's the trick to gift giving. Don't do what, I mean, you can if that's what the person likes, but don't give me this standard gift. Get to know me. What does he like? I'm just saying, that's not a gift. But what does he like? Look, if Mrs. Livingston wanted to give me a gift, it's a few things that she could give me. She know one thing that she could give me. Y'all know I'm an addict for sugar. Go to Perkins, get some of they fresh baked sugar cookies, and give me a box of those. And I would be like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Okay, that was exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying? Know your person. If you're going to give a gift, know your person. I personally think flowers and candy is boring. But, you know, you have some people, if you got a woman who love flowers and candy, go ahead, buy her flowers and candy. Go ahead, buy her a nice little pendant, some earrings. If that's what she like, go ahead. Go ahead. Tanika say, are you eating sugar again, E-Man? Hold on, just for the record, let me pause for a minute. Just for the record, I'm still doing pretty good on the sugar. I'm still doing pretty good. Little baby was just sitting over there right before we came on, which is really the only way I had to think about it. Cause she was like, Grandfather, are we working out today? Cause you still look the same. You fat. She ain't got no filter. She just say whatever to me. And I let her. So, cause you still look the same. You fat. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, Grandfather, have you been eating snacks? And I said, maybe. And she said, well, what have you eaten? And I thought about it. Of course, in the month of January, nothing. And in the month of February, I've had 2 cookies, literal 2 cookies. And I just told her I had 2 cookies, a piece of apple pie, and 2 ice cream cones. And it's what, 13 days in? That's only 5 sweets that I've had for the entire month of February. I don't think that's that bad. I don't think that's that bad. So, Dina, being an angel, thank you. Little baby don't care. She just say it. She say what she say. Jason says, you're allowed to eat sugar, just watch how much. Right, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Look, y'all don't understand. I'm doing real good. I bought, when I say the ice cream, what's them drumsticks? The drumsticks. You know, sugar with the sugar cone, ice cream, and chocolate shell thing. I bought a box of those at the end of January. they are still, I've eaten 2 of them since the end of January, which averages 1 a week. I'm not fooling myself into believing I'm never gonna eat sugar again. That wasn't my goal in January. My goal in January was not to eat sweets at all in January, just to kind of kickstart it and get myself there. But I knew eventually I would factor sweets back into my lifestyle, but just reasonably. Now, last year, if I would have bought a box of drumsticks, that might have lasted 2 days. It might have lasted 2 days. It's been in there for 2 weeks. And only 2 of them, Mrs. Livingston don't really eat sweets, so she ain't gonna eat it. But it's been in there for 2 weeks and only 2 of them are gone. So y'all can try to shame me about eating some sweets. And I see every time about, well, why even bring the temptation into the home? Because I can eat. I'm grown. I'm grown as hell. I can eat whatever I want to eat. But I'm managing myself, getting to the point where I can do things reasonably. So I know I can eat sweets reasonably. I didn't eat the whole box. I didn't eat the whole box. I think I get credit for that. It's not wrong. It's not evil to eat sweets. Steve Breeze said, that's like buying a little crack so you can avoid it. It's not. It's not. But yeah, oh, I gotta watch my language. Got little kids watching. Mike Thompson says, I need a weed diet. It's hard. I'm glad I never got into any sort of drugs or alcohol. Cause I be listening to y'all and watching y'all, and that's got to be hard. Like, I know it's hard for my sweet thing, but I mean, like, you legitimately can't relax unless you drink some alcohol. You legitimately can't have fun if you haven't had a drink, or if you don't have a drink. I can be happy without sweets. I can have a ball without having eaten any sugar. Some of y'all couldn't imagine life without that, like, oh, we about to go out. What they got to drink? They ain't got nothing to drink. I ain't going. Like, you can't do it. And it seems difficult. Like, that would be really difficult. Because those are, mood altering things. Daryl says, it's nothing wrong with smoking weed as long as you do it in moderation. I'm not even, saying right and wrong. I'm just saying from my perspective of, I know that my sugar addiction, and I'm not even doing that like for some mood altering anything. I'm doing it because I like the way it tastes. Sugar tastes good. Sweet things taste good. So, it's no moral anything there. But I don't have to have a piece of cake at the party in order to be having a good time. You know what I'm saying? But there are people who have to have alcohol in order to have a good time. I don't need a piece of cake to relax at night. I can relax at night. But there are people who have to have a drink to relax. So I'm just saying, it's an addiction for a different reason, but you know, an addiction nonetheless. But Jericho says, not everyone drinks with the goal of getting intoxicated. I think everybody drinks with the goal of being affected by the alcohol. Otherwise, you wouldn't drink the alcohol, right? And I guess it all depends on your definition of intoxicated. Oh, let's see. Y'all know me. I be wrong about stuff. So I don't say it until I know. Okay. So I think you're absolutely wrong, Jerica. Everybody drinks, I think, with the intent of being intoxicated. I think so. Because all intoxicated means is being under the influence. So if you're drinking alcohol, you're drinking to have whatever the influence of that alcohol is. That's what Jason says, it just relaxes the body. Then that's the influence that it has on you. So if you're drinking to relax and the alcohol facilitates that relaxation, by definition, that's intoxicated. That's under the influence of. That's the definition. The definition. Whatever the influence of it is, that's the intoxication. Now, to be overly intoxicated, maybe, is what you're thinking. But by definition, it's well, you say we can disagree, but I'm looking at the definition of intoxicated. Means to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. I'm just looking at the definition. We gonna disagree with the actual definition? Twin.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I ain't doing too well.
Oh, I hate to hear that. What's wrong?
You. That's my issue. You.
Oh, what made me, what did I do to become your issue?
I've been listening for 30 minutes, 20, however long you been on. And yin yang hee ha hoo. For the last
None of
30,
those were
40
words.
minutes. This is, what's this and that. Like, come on, man. Oh, Lord have mercy. Where my jacket at? Got to take me a fresh depression. Hey, man, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, you haven't said anything yet, though.
Hold on, I have to get my coat, man. Give me some air outside. Hey, man.
Yeah.
I listened to you a little while ago.
All right.
Talking about that Trump thing, bias remorse, and maybe down the road they'll say, man, we should never pick him on something like that, you were saying. Not in that order. And Emanuel, it is what it is, man. See, I hear it. So you're a cool guy, man. You square for a fair. Neutron, whatever. You cool, man. But, you know, my thing is this, man. Real talk right here.
All right.
My thing is this, man. Regardless you shame a person, you don't agree with a person and all that, man. Why people gotta really feel some type of way like, man, F that nigga or something like that. Real talk, man, because
Do you want me to answer that?
Go ahead, play. Go ahead.
Here's why I think people do it. If you watch someone endorse someone hurting someone, you like to think that person could acknowledge that, number one, whatever the thing is hurting that person, and that it's wrong, and that they are wrong for endorsing that hurt, because we can clearly see the harm that it's causing. And so it becomes frustrating for people to watch someone, in this case, attempt to totally take down our democracy, and then there are people who are endorsing it, knowing the damage that it can and will do. It's frustrating.
It's not frustrating, man. How long we been getting hit with the whip, man?
How long we what?
We been getting hit with the whip.
Getting hit with the whip.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean using that phrase.
How long black folks been getting beat down, man?
Long time.
Okay,
Is
people
your
talk about democracy, right?
what?
People talk about democracy, right?
People do talk about democracy.
What is that? The empowerment of government for the people, right?
If you want to define it that way, okay.
What's your definition of it?
Well, there's an actual definition, but let's just use government of the people, for the people, by the people, or whatever it is.
In that case, if we so much put our trust, and they're not faith, but our trust in our local politicians and national, whatever the case may be, and especially you've been rocking with them 20, 30 years, why can't you switch up, man? Because you feel like that person not doing you right.
You can.
Okay, so if a person switch up, why would you shame them or do like this, regardless of the outcome? Like, man, I was expecting him to change the city or change our hood or do something for the community or the people, but I guess it backfired on. So I'll just go with what we got.
Well, here's why I think to a lot of people, or let me just speak to me. For me, that doesn't make sense, because you know me, I like to use analogies and metaphors and whatnot, right?
Okay.
So, all right, twin, it's these two girls trying to get with you, all right? And one of them, she don't necessarily treat you good, but you know what I'm saying? She give you some monkey every now and again, and sometimes she nice to you, right?
Yeah.
The other one, she want to kill you. So you looking at one of them and you saying, man, she don't always treat me nice, and she don't give me monkey every time I want it, so I'm going to go to the one that's trying to kill me. That wouldn't make sense, would it? She ain't going to give you no monkey. She going to always be mean to you, and she want to kill you. Why would you choose her over the other one?
Because a person like twins not going to go for the one they're trying to kill. What I look like.
Exactly. You look like you voted for Trump. That's it. No. That's the whole point. You saying
that's not no. That's just,
no.
Come on,
hold
man.
on. Let me bring it home. Let me bring it home. Listen to me and let me bring it home.
I'm at the doorstep waiting. Come on.
All right. You say the Democrats been treating us bad. We've been getting whipped all of these years. So I chose something different. But the different thing that you chose ain't never treated you good. Ain't never wanted to treat you good. And if anything, they want to destroy you. Do you think Donald Trump want to do something better for black people than the Democrats? No, he don't. And you knew he didn't when you voted for him. So
ain't
yeah.
all politicians like that?
No.
What did Bush do for us?
Nothing.
What Clinton do for us?
I can't say that he did a whole lot.
What Obama do for us?
He did some stuff.
What'd he do?
Well, for me, he gave us the Affordable Care Act.
He was coattailing off Mitch Romney dreams.
Who?
Stop playing.
Who?
Mitch Romney. You know Mitch Romney.
I don't know Mitch Romney.
It's the same.
But I know who you
It's
mean to say.
It's the same
But-
policy that
but-
Mitt Romney had.
but-
He flipped the script
Hold
on
on,
us. Come
but-
on, man.
But
Stop telling the truth, man.
Wait, hold on.
You see, this one thing
Oh, my
about y'all
goodness.
Negro. Y'all want to shame person, but y'all would never tell people the truth.
who am
and
I
y'all
not
people
telling the
know-
truth?
I mean, you, local politicians, people on the radio, y'all don't speak the truth. But y'all want
What?
to really throw that shade in people's face. Go
Well,
ahead,
hold on.
man.
No, let me ask you this. What did George Bush do for us?
Ain't do nothing. Nigga, either one of them did nothing for us.
All right. And so what did Donald Trump do for us?
He put regulation on stuff. He definitely, we wasn't in this mess like we is.
What?
We straight now.
We
But I'm
we
saying-
had coronavirus. People was dropping dead like flies. What do you mean? We was in a
out of
better
office by
position.
then, right?
What do you mean
He
we
was
was in
out-
a how were we in a better position under Trump than Obama?
We didn't have no COVID-19. I'm just saying we didn't have COVID and all. You talking about what did Trump do? You asked me what he did. I didn't say the pandemic. Talking nothing about no damn pandemic.
No, you just said we was in a better position under Trump. And that's what I'm trying to understand. How? How do you perceive that?
I mean,
you saw what happened under Trump. How was that a better position than
I
anything?
ain't talking about that COVID and all that, man.
But that happened
They-
under Trump.
You asked? Did you say how Trump is? What he do or something?
Right. What did he do?
I mean, he stopped regulation and he got rid of taxes a little bit and everything, but
What?
he cut taxes a little bit
He cut taxes
He
for
was-
who?
for the rich, and he cut taxes.
Are you rich?
everything was-
Hold on. Are you rich?
No.
Right.
If
So
I
what
think
did he?
I'm rich-
So what did he do for
if
you?
You say what now?
What did he do for you?
Hey, I was happy. Everything went up, man, and I had to pay more for everything. But he always put a lot of regulation on stuff. He puts a lot of stops to things. See, what y'all don't fail to realize, he's about money, man, and he needed somebody strong because the man losing. He got dementia or something. The way that little boy checked him, you not the president. My daddy is. Then wipe that little slime on his desk. I'm like, man, he a little cold little brother, dude or whatever. And man, y'all throw these crazy focus on these crazy issues and everything. What's going on? Only thing he doing is checks and balances. Man, he went up in there.
No, he's
flipped
not. No, twin.
He went in there.
Twin.
Man, no,
Come
no,
on,
you're not
be
gonna
honest.
No.
You won't be
No.
honest now. You told me
I'm
to
not
be
about to
honest.
be honest.
Why don't you
I'm
be
not about-
honest? What?
I'm not
What?
about-
What? Do you know what checks and balances mean?
Yeah, yes.
What?
He went in there and checked the books and checked the record book. Went in there like, hey, let me see what they said. How can we balance this out? Hold on.
No, what do you think he checked and that he's balancing? What did he
all
check
the-
and he's balancing?
He's go balance the budget. That's what he's going to do. He went to go check the government and see where all this money had been missing. Why y'all spending this countless money on this bull crap?
Wait,
Hey,
you really
come here.
believe that too, don't you?
Yes, that's what they doing. They know what they doing. They got to get rich. All of them got to get rich.
You genuine.
All
You have 100% bought in, but because
I ain't bought into it. If you just look at it, he said he was going to do it last time he was in office. It's like, when I get in, I'm going to do this. He couldn't really get in because he ain't had the right people. People want lawyers here. And they said, hey, man, sit your white ass down. We going to come back at you in 2025. Right now, you can't run for this. We going to let... Go ahead, Mama.
Look, I want to learn.
No,
So-
man, you not go. No, y'all don't tell the truth on here.
And that's why
Y'all
I
don't check it.
want to
all
learn.
y'all- I
Twin.
listen to every podcast
Twin,
radio.
come on, man,
but
can we-
everything I hear, it get boring
Twin,
listening to that.
twin.
Trump. But how y'all gonna
Twin.
strategize the black community?
Twin.
Y'all never say that. Y'all talk
Twin.
about everything. No Marcus Garvey mentioned on these radio. But
Twin.
in today's news is such and such.
Twin.
Eric Tubman. Come on, I hear you, man. Go on with that.
Can you relax for me?
Go, player.
Come
Go,
on, man.
player.
Emotional intelligence. Let's have
Go
a
ahead.
conversation.
Go ahead.
I want to learn from you, okay? So I'm asking you, what budget has Trump balanced?
He ain't balanced none. Only last time the budget was really balanced when Clinton was in and all.
All right. So you say he ain't balanced nothing yet. What?
Not yet, but he's
Okay.
about to.
Wait, hold on. So I'm asking a question.
Grocery truck. Okay. Okay.
I'm asking a question. You said he looked at the books. what books do you believe he looked at?
Probably the spending book.
The
Or what's
spending
going
book.
on.
So he
What
looked.
the-
He looked at the.
Them funds. Oh, shit. Them funds and everything was really going on.
So he looked at
I mean-
the spending book. And what do you think he saw when he looked at the spending book?
Yes. See what was going on. That's all they basically doing, man. He's a money. Him and Elon is about money, man. They about money. They gonna have to make their pockets rich. They gonna have to get it fat. They
But
made a deal. Why you think he was around?
But I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to learn.
No. We talking.
Right.
But
So-
as I look at it like this, in my perspective,
Okay.
people can, in twin perspective. Only thing I look at it like this. Only thing I look at it like this. Trump, man, he's about money. That man, if you put Trump in that office by himself, that man gonna feel like he in 23-1 lockdown. Trump can't do it by himself, man. He about money. He can do a little bit of it, but he can't do the whole thing. Elon Musk and whoever running behind Elon came behind him. Hey, this how we gonna run this. Do it like this. And Trump got the nod. That motherfucker quiet in the church book, man. He real quiet. He can't do nothing. Quiet as a church mouse.
Twin, you're not helping
Trump
me. You're not helping me understand. Because
I'm helping you understand because he came. They know.
You're just rambling.
See, y'all looking for a small thing. He got Elon Musk. He do this. He doing this, and he just.
He
public-
doing
he know
what?
what
He's doing what? You said he do this.
He
what?
said he cutting all this nonprofit and all these. He know what he doing because they hear
So tell me, what is he doing? What is he doing?
He about to balance the budget. That's what he about to do. He might throw the black folks a crumb or something like that. Other than that, man, this riffraff and all that, Trump do it. He know what he's doing, probably.
Wait.
That's why he got Elon Musk in there. They got to run that book up first.
What
they gonna
book?
get they cut.
What?
The checks and the balance, man, the budget. They got to
budget.
run it. They go lower everything, man. He's trying to get it lower because they know the Democrats went in
Hold on,
and
wait.
people get
Twin. Do you know who creates the budget?
Yes, we know the people.
Who?
We as people
Who?
create the budget.
Who?
Probably the government. I don't know. Creates. I don't
Well,
really
just say
get
I don't
into that
know.
stuff, man.
It's okay to say I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. The Congress. Donald Trump.
I said the government, right?
Donald Trump don't create the budget. Elon Musk. He doesn't create the budget. So when they look
I hear
at
you. Keep going.
right, so when they look at the spending book, there's not necessarily a whole lot. I mean, he can do some, like he's talking about, for example, cutting out.
What happened? What that 500 billion came about?
Which
that they just
500?
found?
Which 500 billion do you believe they found?
What was that 500 billion from? What was that for?
I don't know what 500 billion you're talking about.
That they went in there, investigated, took them 2 weeks to do.
Who?
And unspending money, bogus money, United States was sitting down under the last administration for years and everything.
I'm not sure.
You ain't know about that?
I'm not sure that they know about that. I can right now, look, Twin, right now I can say, hey, I looked at the spending book and they spent $12 trillion inappropriately last year and give you no evidence to prove it. And if I just say it and you believe it, then it'll make sense to you. And you'll be like, damn, that Emanuel is really doing his job. He found $12 trillion. But what did I show you to back that up?
Sometimes you really sit down and think about it and everything. And they tell me, it's a government shutdown and all that. Dang, it's a government shutdown. But y'all just found Ukraine $50 billion. How's this a government shutdown? Come on, let it make sense.
What?
I'm just saying, man. Government, that's why I don't get into that stuff. I really don't know about it. But I think, man, to me, man, they just doing something that they know that the government messed up, the last administration.
But
that's how they look at it.
But
for
just
years.
to be clear, though, Twin, you're saying that with zero actual information. You only believe that because that's what the guys that you like said. You don't have anything to back that up.
I probably do if I really do my research on it. I probably do. It's my delivery and
okay,
logic.
no, but that's very important, twin, because your question you're asking me is why can't people just vote for who they want to and believe what they want to? But but hold on, let me answer. When you're saying I believe whatever I want to with no
I didn't say all
information,
that.
well, you did.
I didn't say all that.
You
no,
did.
I did. Don't put words in my mouth. No, I did.
You did.
I ain't say nothing like that.
Yes,
player. No,
you
I
did. And you believe whatever you want to because you like the person that's giving you the fake information. But not because it's actual
all
information.
Y'all get fake information on here until it hit the fan.
I'm just saying I agree with what you said that you should do some research. I agree with you. But why people get on you as much as they do is because you call on here telling people they lying and that ain't the information and this ain't this and this ain't that. And then when they question you about it, you like, well, I don't know about none of that stuff. Then why are you so vociferously, I believe that's the correct word, against what people are saying when you don't actually have any information yourself admittedly?
My thing is this. People entitled to their opinion or whatever, and people entitled to what their prerogative and everything else. So if I vote for a person, or I like that person, I dislike that, that's me. You ain't got to be, shame me and everything else or other people. And I'll be in the chat and on other podcasts or radio, and I'm like, why people mad for, man? Just go with the flow.
But that's just it. We don't want to just go with the flow. That's terrible. That is horrible.
I'm just saying, okay, we in a round circle, whatever. Say you're the AA drug thing, alcohol circle.
Okay.
Oh, you're an alcoholic. You got 50 beers. And I'm not going to be judgmental to that person or criticize them because we're in a circle because we all got problems. I just go with the flow. Okay, Billy got drug problems. He drinks 5 beers. Katie, she smoke crack. I'm not going to shame a person, but us as people shame our own kind because of that person. Oh, it don't work.
But
like
But what if you at the AA meeting and Shelly smoke crack and Susie drink 50 beers, but Emanuel, I'm sitting there talking about I got some crack and some beer in my trunk. Ain't it okay to judge me?
No.
Why not?
Your problem.
No, because I'm not there. I'm not there trying to actually help people. I'm there trying to capitalize off of people's weakness and misery. That's bad, right?
Well, we all in a circle together. We all got problems. That's our problem being here.
But I'm saying, but what I'm saying,
that's my idea of. I'm not gonna shame you because you alcohol. Me too. I smoke crack too.
But what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, if I see y'all misery and I jump in to only exploit that misery, there's nothing wrong with saying, Emanuel, you wrong for that.
You wrong for what? Smoking crack? Or
no,
drinking?
for selling crack addicts crack. There's nothing wrong with. Why are you coming to the AA meeting to advertise that you got crack in your trunk for sale?
I didn't say nothing like that.
I said it.
No, I ain't talking about. No, I'm saying if we was in a circle together.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But you're missing my point. I'm trying to take your analogy, your metaphor, and what I see is Trump. He's playing y'all. He see. Y'all don't like.
Don't they all play us, man?
He see that y'all don't like trans people, and so what he's doing is
right. I don't.
Right. So what he's doing is he's manipulated you so that you think he on your side, but really he gonna give you the whole trans thing, but he gonna take all the money out your pocket. He gonna make life worse for you. He gonna make life hard for people just to put more money in his pocket. He don't have to say it. We can look and see it. He don't have to say it. We can see it.
They all drain the swamp. So what's new? This ain't nothing new. Y'all act like this something new. Like that Nazi and all that stuff, that ain't nothing new.
What?
Like that Nazi stuff going on and people act like that's new, man. No. They all the president drain the swamp. So what's new about it?
I'm not sure that you know. Hold on.
It's just a nigga winning that strong arm that thing with no mask on.
No.
He told y'all ass done. I'm
Twin.
sure your ass go be done.
Twin.
Come on, Emanuel.
Twin.
What?
Again, you don't even know what the terminology that you're using means. Drain the swamp.
Okay.
You talking about they all drain the swamp. No, they don't. And you don't know what it means to drain the swamp. It's just something that you heard them say.
Okay, man.
What they supposed to mean when they talk about, because I don't want you to say that no more and then people be like, he an idiot, he don't know what he's talking about. I don't
Okay, man.
What they mean when they talking about draining the swamp is they mean getting rid of corruption. The stuff that you're saying they all do, drain the swamp means we gonna get rid of all of the people who do that. And you just admitted that Trump is one of the people who do that.
You can say drain the swamp on anything, man. Go ahead.
No, you
it's
can't.
Empty,
That's
man.
not
Dump it.
just something
Yes,
that
you can, man. You can use that any term. Now get up out of here with
It's
that
not.
political
What
talk.
does that
Go
even
ahead,
mean?
man.
Then what does it mean? If you can just say it about
You
anything,
can drain.
what does that mean to drain the swamp?
If I got a swamp in my backyard, hey, man, can y'all do me a favor? Dig this swamp up for me, because I'm going to put a whole new park right here.
Okay, but what does it mean in... All right, but in any other...
Movement.
No,
that's what it is.
Right, so in put that in context with the government. What does it mean when the president says, I want to drain the swamp? What does that mean politically?
Get rid of a dead weight. Get rid of dead weight.
And according to you, he wants to now be the dead weight. So how are you draining the swamp? What, just to become the swamp? You can't just... That's not just something that you can use in any context. Like, oh, my car broke down. I want to drain the swamp. That doesn't make sense. It's not something you can just use. Right. Exactly. So you can't just use it for anything.
Man, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Then use it in a sentence. With nothing to do with swamps or politics. Use drain the swamp.
I just told you what I'm going to do.
No, that was actually talking about a swamp. Use it in some other context.
What's up? How many you got on there?
Use it for Kroger. Use it for that milk truck. Use drain the swamp with regard to that milk truck.
Kroger's is laying off. Hey, Mr. Emanuel Livingston, as CEO of Kroger's, we need to drain the swamp. What you mean? We got to balance this budget. We really...
That is not draining the swamp. That wouldn't be...
Oh, my God.
Balancing the budget.
It's
not draining the swamp.
What is it,
draining the swamp is getting rid of the unwanted stuff.
Oh, go on, man.
What are you talking about?
Man, you full of it, man. You just told me to use it in a sentence.
That was horrible.
No, it wasn't.
That was horrible.
Stop playing, play. I'm giving it to you in my definition. Man, you told me using the definition.
I get it. You don't know what it... You're just saying stuff because you heard people say it.
No,
I get it.
I heard it in that part. Come on, I heard it before. Stop it, man.
No, I know you heard it, but you didn't know what it meant.
I heard it, man. I know what it meant, man. Come on.
You did.
But I can use it. Come on, the government uses it all the time. And I know what it means, but
you don't.
Stop.
You really don't. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know something.
I do. Oh Lord Jesus, have mercy. Man, well, last thing you was talking about gifts and everything. I mean, you know, I don't expect a gift or whatever on Valentine's Day, because I believe in giving it all day, every day, or whatever. So I don't expect nothing back in return. But, man, I'm out of breath.
It take a lot of energy to make up a silly definition for draining the swamp and then try to come up with a nonsensical application of it.
I'm unloading this bread. I'm out of breath.
You draining the swamp.
I can't tell you. Look, man. No, for real, though, I don't ask none in return, though. But I believe in giving and that, man.
Okay.
I mean, it's Valentine's Day. If you got a woman, though, it's Valentine's Day every day. I don't expect no damn, special day for me. No. But, your girl, whoever you with, might be feeling down and out. Like, man, I'm about to surprise her. like candy. Or, you always go for what they like.
Yes.
Whether it's Bath and Body Works or Sprite or Juju's or Mike and Ike's or anything, Chico Sticks and all that. You go for what they like.
Yeah.
Whether it's nasty Chipotle and all that. So you do go for what they like. It ain't gotta be. And I don't too much like them flowers. No, they be dying and everything.
They
Don't
do.
care how much you pay for them.
Yeah.
They die too much for me.
They
So
die too much for
I
me,
usually
too.
get them done. Yeah, they be dying, man, about a week or two.
Yes.
But I get them though, 'cause I like the smell of them and everything. I do be buying them imitations though. But other than that, it's Valentine's Day every day for me.
And then you know what
Yeah.
happens after you give her that Valentine's Day gift, right?
Your granddaughter right there.
No?
Yeah, you remember you said what that mouth do? Somebody in the chat.
You know what?
said that.
But I can tell you what that mouth do. It drains the
You
swamp.
can't come on, man. Don't
It drains
man.
the
Don't say
swamp,
that.
bro. It drains the swamp.
No, you ain't got to say it like that, though, man.
It drains the swamp.
No, I ain't like the way you told me that, man. You could have said that to somebody else.
What? Now I'm confused.
You not confused the way you said.
What?
So I can tell you what that mouth do or some goofy
It drains the
stuff you just
swamp.
said.
That's what I'm telling you it do.
Man, whatever. All right, what else on the menu, man?
That's it.
Get you all discombobulated.
That's it. I learned something today, and I appreciate your call. I know now that you can use drain the swamp for anything.
Google it and see.
No, I don't have to. You told me. It makes sense.
No. Google and see if you don't believe.
No, I don't have to. You told me. I'm about to go work out and drain the swamp.
Go ask your wife that. I'm about to drain the swamp. She was like, what you mean?
And I'm going to tell her that can mean anything.
Hey, no. Just, hey, for real talk on this. Tell her that and see what she say. See, does she think it's political, what we was talking about?
Nah, I'm not going to do that. She'll
Political
look at me like I was crazy. And I don't want her to look at me like I was crazy.
She had to look at you like that every day, so what's new? Just say it. Ask her.
Well, I'm going to move on from
After
this call.
Valentine's Day.
I had
After
another call.
Valentine's Day.
I had another call coming in, so I got to go drain the
All right,
swamp.
bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, bye.
He said you can use drain the swamp for anything. Hey, Mr. CEO of Kroger, we need to balance the budget and drain the swamp. You can use it for anything. Anything. Oh, it's a term. It don't really mean nothing. You can use it for anything. I gotta get my car fixed. We didn't do all of the repairs on my car. I still had to drain the swamp. What? That doesn't make sense. Just sometimes, and I tell people this all the time, it's hard. Because people think that if they say that they don't know something, people gonna think that they're stupid. But I'm here to tell you, you're better off saying, I don't know that, than pretending that you know something that you 100% don't know, because then you really end up seeming stupid. I don't know. I don't know. What does it mean to drain the swamp? I'm not sure. It's something I heard him say. It kind of sounded good, and so I was just using it. I'm not sure what it means exactly. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with saying I don't know. It's funny because he said I don't know earlier. And y'all right. Y'all right. I was wrong for reiterating that Donald Trump is looking at the spending book. I was wrong for that, and I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. I was a little out of line. I was a little out of line. Brenda said, I need to drain the swamp so I can get this laundry done. There you go. You can just use it in anything. Oh. Y'all, it's about time for me to go. I gotta drain the swamp. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Oh, it's time to drain the swamp. Just say I don't know. Oh. Oh, he heard it. He heard it. And then they do say it, and it be catchy. We know they don't actually want to do it, but it was catchy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp. They don't want to drain the swamp. They want to replace the swamp with their own swamp. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
Hey, Key, long time no hear. I thought you'd put me down.
No, I'll never do that. It just be weird sometimes to call in and try to be the sunshine when some of the calls be like, the sunshine ain't gonna make a difference.
You always
You know
make
what I
a
mean?
difference, Key. Always.
Okay, always.
Always.
Okay, well, I was calling to drain the swamp.
You gonna drain the swamp.
So, have I accomplished it?
I don't know. Maybe.
I thought it fits in any
Maybe. Who
sentence.
am I to say? It could be
I thought it
anything.
fits in any sentence. Hey, David Heron. Hey, Tonika.
It could be anything. So you might have
Right,
just.
so you gotta make up what it could mean.
Yeah, you might have drained the
Trish.
swamp a couple of times
Hey,
so
you
far.
underwear.
I don't know.
Hey, Brenda Early. Oh, okay. I have no idea. But I thought I've heard people say I got drained the swamp, and then they say basically they gotta go use the bathroom. Hey, Anthony Parsons.
No, that's like.
I thought I've heard that
no,
people say that.
no,
Like you
that's-
say they probably using it wrong, but I thought I heard people say that I gotta go drain the swamp.
No, you heard them say they gonna drain the lizard or something like that.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Swamp, lizard, alligator. Oh, okay. I see I'm using it the wrong way. I don't know. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Regina. Hey, Ron.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. All right, man. That's all I wanted to make you laugh real quick because I know you said you're about to get out of there.
I appreciate you, Key.
Hey, Scott. All right, enjoy
the rest of
your
your
day,
day and drain some more swamps.
Okay, I'm going to drain it as I go out on this call.
All right.
Okay, bye.
She thought they were saying they gonna drain the swamp. And then they go be. That's funny. That's funny. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I got some stuff I have to do. I had to call my good friend Raven, who will be on the show tomorrow. I believe she said around 3 or so. But I don't think I'll be on till like 3:30. So probably around 3:30. And yeah, she got something she want to say, and I want her to say it. So don't miss your favorite millennial, Miss Raven Monday. I and this is, was open, and she's allowed, and as far as I'm concerned, to come on this platform anytime she wants to. So we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay warm, because it's cold out there, except for where bad people live. If you live somewhere where it's warm right now, you're a bad person. So for the rest of y'all, stay warm. And as always, be the reason somebody drains the swamp. I'm out, y'all. Peace.